Much for coming on out. One more time for Greg, getting back into it after a few years. Great to see Greg. Thanks for coming on out. Good stuff. Good stuff. You were talking about your single father, you said?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, do you live around here?
St. Joe.
St. Joe? Gotcha. Okay. It sounds like a very, very nice place.
Small. We have cases, that's it.
Okay. Sounds good. For the purpose of this bit, we're going to pretend that's a very nice place to live. It sounds like a very nice place. A place I would have liked to have taken my future kids to someday. But unfortunately, I can't have kids. I got the COVID vaccine. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. I know getting the COVID vaccine isn't keeping me from having kids. No, that's Tylenol. I'm just kidding. The real thing keeping me from having kids is when my girlfriend asked me what my favorite Bible verse is, and I slam 2 cans of beer together and say Austin 3:16. That's keeping me from having kids. But that Tylenol stuff, that was in the news. That was weird. Another thing in the news is that Ghislaine Maxwell was getting interviewed by the Justice Department. I didn't even know they were hiring. Now that would be a very funny interview to be a fly on the wall for. I feel like she's got some charming qualities aside from everything else she's done. I think she'd be in there waiting for the interviewer. He'd come in, he'd sit down with a cup of coffee, and she'd say, like, "Is that Maxwell House?" And he'd be like, "Oh, Ghislaine, you got me again." But they would go through the normal interview questions. They would say, like, "Okay, are you comfortable? This job involves some distribution." Actually, that's my specialty. Okay, there's some top secret stuff in this job. Are you okay with keeping things hush-hush? I actually prefer it. Okay, and finally, Ghislaine, you seem like you're very qualified for the job. Final step before we bring you on board, can you provide a list of references? Actually, no, I cannot. The list does not exist. Too kind. Must be from St. Joe. That's too kind. No, but that's interesting. Apparently in the get to know you section of the interview that she did with the Department of Justice, it was revealed in the article that her favorite song is Remember the Name, which is very weird because no one has paid any attention to that song since when they were on the high school basketball team doing layup lines. That's the only place I've heard that song in the last 15 years. My high school played it, I think, for the entire 20 minutes of warm-ups just on repeat. And nothing felt cooler than if you could do that reverse layup and have it go in as you're hearing 10% luck, 20% skill. Like, cheerleaders, call me. You could sync that up perfectly, you had it made. But everyone was very confused because they didn't think that Ghislaine played on her high school basketball team. So why is her favorite song Remember the Name? And just as a history lesson for you folks, in case you did not average 1.7 points per game in high school basketball, Remember the Name, the group that sings it, is named after Ghislaine's favorite thing in the world. Fort Minor. That's the group. That's the group who sang it. That's the group. But there's a lot of things coming out about Epstein Island. Not the list, but some other stuff. They learned that there was a 9-hole golf course on the island, and I heard that they were asking the groundskeeper about it, like, this island's huge. Why did Jeff only have 9 holes? He said, well, he had space for more, but never really showed a whole lot of interest in the full 18. Moving on to some more lighthearted stuff. Football's back. Any football fans here?
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah! Hoo-ah! Whatever they say. No, that's good. Football's back. The NFL announced this year that they are banning the use of smelling salts because it can mask the symptoms of a concussion. But to be fair to the players, they are allowing sidelines to carry smelling peppers. Also, this past season of Hard Knocks was about the Buffalo Bills. And in the spirit of the show, they're focused on finding out who truly has the hardest knocks. So I heard a rumor that next season, Hard Knocks will be focused on the local chapter of the Jehovah's Witness. Hello, thank you for coming. No, in other news, I saw that North Korea, to attract more tourism, is opening a amusement and a water park, which sounds like a great way to bring in tourists if they've never heard of North Korea before. I don't know anything about it. Now, I'm not going to go. I don't know if any of you are. I'm not going to go, but I would love to be there in person to see the reaction of Kim Jong-un when at his own water park he finds out that he's too short to ride half the rides. Folks, I'm Zach Goggins. That's my time. Thank you so much for coming on out tonight. Appreciate it.